I'm making this video with no script, no notes, and everything I'm talking about is from my own research. So obviously I'm trying very hard to make sure that everything I say is 100% correct, but there might be a few mistakes. And if there are, obviously please feel free to correct me. I'm talking to you about this on the assumption that you do not believe that it's okay for animals to suffer, to be tortured, and to die for cosmetics. If you do think it's okay, probably just click off this video and then keep clicking till you're unsubscribed from me, because you're on the wrong channel. I'm not talking about animal testing for medicine. I know that's something that's going to come up a lot, but that's not what I'm discussing in this video. I'm talking about animal testing for things like makeup, household products, alternatives to sugar, stuff like that. I say alternatives to sugar because approximately 12,800 animals died when they were making Splenda, the sugar replacement. I'm not going to include any disturbing footage or photos of animals being tested in this video. I care a lot about animals and I really love makeup, and I didn't know much about animal testing in the cosmetics industry until the past couple of years. It's illegal to test cosmetics on animals within the EU. I knew that before, so I thought that everything I was using was probably fine. When I did my research, I found out that that absolutely was not the case. The process of finding out to what extent you're supporting animal testing by buying a product has many levels. So you have big companies like Rimmel and Maybelline, pretty much most of the drugstore makeup that you'll find when you go into Boots or Superdrug in this country. These companies often say that they do not test on animals. If you read the small print, it often says, "We do not test on animals unless required by law." There is no law within the EU that requires cosmetics to be tested on animals. They're talking about laws in places like China. If you want to sell makeup in China, you have to have it tested on animals. China will not sell makeup unless it's been through animal testing. So basically, when these companies like Rimmel say that they won't test unless required by law, making it seem like you're crazy to think that that's a bad thing, what it means is that they've chosen selling to China above not torturing animals. It might also say on some products or some websites that the final or finished product wasn't tested on animals. What that means is they can test the ingredients on animals, which is essentially the same thing. So again, they do test on animals. Some companies can say that they themselves do not test on animals at all. They don't test their products or their ingredients. And they can say this because they are outsourcing their animal testing to other companies who will test the ingredients on animals for them. So basically, when you're buying a product, the only way that you can tell that they haven't tested on animals and they haven't got any other companies to test on animals for them is if they say that their finished product and ingredients have not been tested on animals by them or by anybody else. So for example, Urban Decay, NARS, companies like that, they say they haven't tested it, nobody's tested it, their products have not been tested on animals. So that's that out of the way, and if that's all you care about, you just don't want your products to have been tested on animals, there's plenty of companies that do that. You can only tell that the products you're buying are definitely in no way supporting animal testing if the parent company also doesn't test on animals. So this is where it gets really complicated, because a great company like Urban Decay, who don't test on animals, who have lots of vegan products, are owned by L'Oreal, who do definitely test on animals all the time. I recently found out that NARS, even though they don't test on animals themselves, are owned by a Japanese parent company who do test on animals. So this is definitely, as you can tell, a very complex issue. So many people are unaware of this, and I don't really blame them because it is quite a complicated system. But what I'm really hoping is that if you watch this video and you use brands that straight up test on animals, not their parent company, but they themselves test on animals, you will stop using their products. Maybe I'm being super idealistic, but I think it's really important to live by your beliefs when it's something like this. So many people will say to me, well, I don't think animals should be tested on for cosmetics, but it's so hard to find ones that aren't. Not true, it takes minimal research. What is more important, spending half an hour of your day doing some research and switching over some of the products you use, or animals suffering and dying? For things like makeup, we don't need makeup, and I love makeup, you know I love makeup, but it's not at all vital to us. So why are we making animals suffer for it? It's ridiculous. I'm going to include an end screen which has a list of popular makeup brands that do test on animals that you should definitely avoid. One of my favourite cruelty-free companies is Lush. I'm going to be doing a Lush giveaway, so I will link below where you can enter that to win a box of Lush goodies. It's going to be a Christmas set, even though it's not Christmas yet, so if you're interested in winning Christmassy bath stuff, then you can enter below. So in the comments, I want to know from you if you've learned anything new about animal testing from this video, stuff that you had no idea was going on before, and also if you're going to change your behaviour and your buying habits based on the information that I've given you. This is some serious shit. Video over.